Well, welcome everyone. They still don't get it. Welcome all, welcome everyone, welcome to the light and love that is Unity of Lawrence. Special welcome to our guests and a special welcome to those of you who are watching us from home or elsewhere. Again, what a beautiful time of year. What a great time to see you all here. And as you are aware, in Unity, we begin everything with prayer. Please welcome Prayer Chaplain Karen Langsford to lead us in a special prayer. Thank you, Karen.
Good morning. Let's take a centering breath and breathe into that heart space. Breathe in again and let it open wide. We know that we are made of love, that love is our name. And so we gather together our brilliant light, the light of love, and we send it forth into this world, and especially to the people of Ukraine, as they courageously defend their homeland. We send this light and this love to give them courage, to give them strength, and to let them know that they are not alone. Charles Fillmore said, "Do not be afraid to pour your love upon the evil of the world." And so we send our love also to the people of Russia. And we ask that the heart of Russia be dedicated again to peace. If there is to be peace among the nations, there must be peace within the nation, and peace within the cities, and peace within the neighbors, and peace within the home. So we strive each day to be peaceful ourselves and to be a loving light to all those around us. But we also have the power to bless and to send that love and light wherever it is needed in the world. And we give thanks that we have this power, that we are a part of the one that we all are a part of. So blessings to all. Thank you, God. Amen.
Thank you, Karen. Our prayer chaplains are trained to hold sacred space and pray with you one-on-one. If there is anything in your heart to be held in prayer, we invite you to see a chaplain following today's service at the front of the sanctuary. And now please stand and join Holly in singing, "Thank You for This Day." Thank you for this
Here we go. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Let's say hi to these friends around us. for my life. Thank you for my life, Spirit, thank you for my life. My glorious, my glorious, my glorious life. My glorious, my glorious, my glorious life. Let's do that one more time. Thank you for my life, Spirit, thank you for my life. Thank you for my life, Spirit, thank you for my life. My glorious, my glorious, my glorious life. My glorious, my glorious, my glorious life. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day.
Wonderful. Thank you, Holly, and thank you all. Now it's that special time of the Sunday where we share our unity intentions. Please affirm with me unity's founding principle. Together, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the source of all good. And now our unity of vision, unity of Lawrence vision statement. Together, united in divine love and joy, we celebrate a peaceful and abundant world for all. And now our Unity of Lawrence mission statement. Together, we are a thriving spiritual community, sharing love, building bridges, and inspiring transformation. Karen's message is all about healing and love. Whether singing one of her positive message songs, or sharing stories that are funny, inspiring, and heart-opening. She is a keynote speaker, women's retreat facilitator, and entertainer who has recorded 20 CDs of her inspirational music. Karen also the author of best-selling work, Let Go of the Shore, Songs and Stories to Let the Spirit Free. Her chants and songs are used around the world and often help people deal with illness and loss or help them feel the need to feel more centered for the day. Karen's intention is to make a difference by using her music to open hearts and share a message of hope, acceptance, and love. Welcome, Karen Drucker.
Yay! Hi, everybody. Oh my goodness. So let me see, can you put the camera up so I could see what you all are seeing? Oh, I'm there on your big screen. Oh, what a thrill. And for those of you who are on Zoom, if you could even unmute your, undo your video so I can see you, I'd be pretty thrilled. So look at me, I'm in Hawaii. Ah! Hey, Jan. Hey, Ann. Oh, goody, I get to look at some people. So welcome, everybody. I'm so thrilled to be here. So I did this song before, but now I have it recorded on my new album. So are you ready? So this is a song written by me and the fabulous Pam Grout. So I'll teach you. Here's your chorus part. Here's what I want you to sing with me. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. This is my magic wand that says that you could sing. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. And you, something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. That's all I have to say. Thank you all so much for having me. Really, really great to be with you. Now, here we go. Here we go. All right. Okay, so you can get up and dance now. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. My cat is meowing in the background, oh my Lord. I'll sing my little mantra. I'm gonna get it in my head. Today is a party. I'm gonna leap on out of bed. And I start my day in this way, knowing that everything is okay. I look for the good in everything. It makes me want to sing. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Something amazingly awesome gonna happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome gonna happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today, yeah. Now it's not out in the future, well, it's right before my eyes. Beauty, joy, and wonder, it's time I realize that every moment is a gift. All it takes is the slightest shift to see the good in everything. Makes me want to sing. Here we go. Something amazingly awesome gonna happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome gonna happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome. Now if you have your kazoos, this is your time. I can only imagine what it sounds like in the sanctuary. Now, but what if I'm not open to it? Gratitude, gratitude. But what if I'm not really feeling it? Gratitude, gratitude. I believe in the power. What I say will be. And I finally learned the lesson. The gratitude is the key. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, now think about what you want in your life right now. Think about something amazingly awesome that could happen to you today. Just think about that. And then you say, amazing, amazing. It's all amazing. Amazing, amazing. It's all amazing. You say, amazing, amazing. It's all amazing. Amazing, amazing. It's all amazing. Amazingly awesome. Gonna happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome gonna happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. And you, amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. Yeah, amazing. I don't know what it's gonna be, but you know what? I'm open to the possibilities of whatever it's gonna be. Could be big, could be small, but I gotta be open. I gotta allow it and be present. And that's what my talk is gonna be all about. To be open, to be present. That's what it's all about. What it's all about. What it's all about. All right, big applause. Desperate times call for desperate measures. That's my applause button. So I wish I could be seeing you all in person there, but it is really nice to be with you today. And thank you for having me, as weird as this is, that I'm on a screen. But we are working on that. Kathy and I are working on me coming there. So that's something that I'm looking forward to. But let me tell you about this song. So this song is amazingly awesome. Oh, wait a minute. I have all her books over there, and now I can't get to it. So I brought them all down here. So I'm a big fan of someone who comes to your church, Pam Grout. I'm sure you all know her, and I'm just a big fan. Really, I took all her books off the shelf. I have them all right over there. But in one of her books, Thank and Grow Rich, she has an exercise that I was reading one day and said, you're supposed to wake up every morning and say something amazingly awesome is going to happen to me today. And she said, you say this over and over during the day. And in typical fashion, the way that I remember things is I put them on yellow stickies. So I had all these little yellow stickies on the bathroom mirror, in my car, something amazingly awesome. And I realized that the way that I could really embody this is the way I embody all the messages that I'm trying to get into my little brain, is I sing it. I just sing the line. And so I started to sing something amazingly awesome is going to happen. And that's how I can really get it in my head. And so I had this amazingly awesome thought one day, because I sat down at the piano and I'm singing amazingly awesome is going to happen to me. And I thought, well, this feels like it's like a full song. And I wanted to be in integrity. So I looked her up on Google of how I could find her. And I wrote just in her website, you know, I just sent this little message saying, hi there, my name's Karen Drucker and I write these songs. And I sent it off, you know, this letter about, you know, could I write a song about what you wrote? And, you know, what I learned from my dad many, many years ago is that with anything in life, you just keep throwing the pebbles out into the lake, and you never know when that ripple is going to come back. It could come back in 6 months, it could come back right away, but you just keep throwing pebbles out. Whatever, you just never know. So I threw this pebble out thinking I'd never hear anything, and a few days later I get an email from her going, are you the Karen Drucker, the person that we sing all your songs at my little wonderful church at Unity of Lords? And so what happened from that was we started this relationship, and she turns out she always wanted to write a song. So we started corresponding, and with a lot of the wonderful words that she brought to that song, we wrote this song and I recorded it. And she's a fabulous person. If you don't know her, she's a fabulous person. But I want to talk about what some of the lyrics are. No, I don't want to get to that yet. I want to talk about this first. That it really comes down to what she talked about in her exercise, which is you say this before you get out of bed. You say this, you wake up and you say something amazingly awesome is going to happen to me today. And you have that belief. Even if you don't really feel it yet, you can allow yourself to just sink into that feeling of, I don't know what it is, but something amazingly awesome. And so, you know, a lot of my songs are about this. I have many songs that start off with like what the beautiful Holly just sang. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. And I have a song called I Start My Day with Love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of is love. So I have this real belief that the way that we start our day is how the whole day will work. So let me ask you a question. When you started your day today, did you wake up and go, you know, look in the bathroom mirror and go, oh my God, did you get more beautiful overnight? What is look at this body. Is this just the most beautiful body you've ever seen? Or did you wake up and you go, oh my God, I feel like, and you go and you look in the mirror and go, everything's dropping. I mean, how do you start your day? And I learned many years ago how that first thought is so important, because I was in a hotel and the very first thing that I heard when my alarm clock radio went off was Linda Ronstadt singing to me as a beautiful affirmation to start the day. You're no good, you're no good, you're no good, baby, you're no good. And then she says, I'm going to say it again to make sure you got it. You're no good, you're no good. So what do you think is in my mind all day long? I'm no good, you're no good, you're no good. So this is why this spiritual practice, this one thing, if you get anything from my talk today, this one thing of just how you start your day and what you say to yourself is so important. So if you can start your day with a positive message of I'm beautiful, anything you say after I am beautiful, I am smart, I am open to the possibility of something amazingly awesome happening to me. So I have a little video, if we could show that, a little video of, here's an example of what you could do to start your day. So if you could play that. Okay, my back. I think all of us on Zoom couldn't hear it. I hope you all were able to hear that in the sanctuary. So anyway, sorry about that on Zoom. I guess we couldn't hear it. Anyway, so I want to look at these words that Pam and I wrote. And I don't know if it worked in there in your sanctuary. Anyway, whatever it is, if you didn't hear it, go Google it. It's a great little video. And anyway, so I want to talk about the lyrics of this song. And we start off saying, I start my day in this way, knowing that everything is okay. So it's really starting off saying, that the universe has my back. I look for the good in everything, and it makes me want to sing. And another one of the lyrics in here is, it's not out in the future, it's right before my eyes. It's right there. It's not something you're going to look at for later. It's right here. What is the beauty and the wonder and the awe that you have right now in your life? And I love this. Every moment is a gift. All it takes is the slightest shift to see the good in everything. In everything. So, one of the things that I really want to talk about this morning is the idea of acting as if, affirming that something is going to happen before it happens. And, the other line that is in this song is, what if I'm not open to it? What if I don't really feel it? And so one of the things that totally bugs me sometimes in our movement is when you're going through a hard time and someone comes up to you and says, oh, it's all good. It's just all good. And it's like you just want to slap them going, well, right now it's not all good. And right now in our world, what we're going through in our world, it's not all really great. And I don't want to make an assumption that for all of you out there, you're going through just a fine time, and I can just talk about saying, let's just look for the amazing miracles all around us. Sometimes it's really difficult to find it. Sometimes when it's all too much, having someone go saying something amazingly awesome is going to happen, you just want to slap me. And what I want to talk about is that slight shift that we talked about in the lyrics. All it takes is the slightest shift to see the good. There was a time when I was going through a dark night of the soul. I didn't have a place to live. I was in my early 20s, and I was house sitting for someone. And I remember just waking up in the morning and going, oh my God, this day, how am I going to get through this day? And I remember feeling like, but you know what? There's this great bakery down the street, and they have this great cup of coffee and these little croissants. And, sometimes food can get you out of bed. And I remember just saying, okay, I'm going to look for a miracle today. I'm just going to have this shift somehow because I was so down. And again, what was motivating me was my morning coffee. And I remember walking down the street and feeling like, okay, I don't know how to do it, but God help me because I need to see a miracle here. I'm just so in the pits. And I remember it was almost like the angels went, ah, ah, because I'm walking down the street, and I remember there were tears coming down my eyes, and I looked up, and it was almost as if there was a spotlight above this little cottage. And I looked up, and I could tell that the way that the light was hitting, that there was no furniture in there. And I wound up looking in the windows, and it turned out it was this empty cottage that I had never seen in previous days. But I wound up contacting the people and wound up living there for 2 years in this adorable little cottage. But my point is, that's like I had to have the slightest shift in my consciousness to be able to say, I'm open to the possibility of something good happening today. I'm open to the possibility that something amazingly awesome could happen. And it's looking for it in that slight way. So a lot of times it's giving thanks before things even happen. It's trusting and that's what faith is, I think. It's trusting in the fact that even though I don't have a manifestation of it right now, that something could happen to me that could change my life, that could allow me to feel better about myself or about the world today. So I want to tell you about this little story that that only happened because of the first principle of what I'm talking about today is being present. It's being present to what's going on in your life. It's being present to how you feel. You know, I have this great exercise I do every day where I put my hand over my heart and I say, what does my heart have to say today? What does my heart have to say? And in doing that, I allow myself to get present enough to hear myself, to hear what is true for me today. And, you know, sometimes what comes up is what does my heart have to say could come up to be, you know, that meeting I'm doing with someone this afternoon, I don't really want to do that. And I think what's really important is for us to allow ourselves to acknowledge the truth. It doesn't necessarily mean we have to do anything about it. I mean, that's where I think we get stuck, because it's like if the truth comes up saying, that meeting today, I don't want to do it, maybe it's too difficult to call that person and say, I don't want to do this. I need to be with myself today. But at least to acknowledge it, that's the first step. You know, I have a song called I Will Be Gentle With Myself. I will be gentle with myself. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. And the bridge to that song says, and I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. So I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. So as we look at miracles and looking for amazing, wonderful things in our life, sometimes we have to get present enough and weed out the stuff that doesn't work for us to keep us present. So if we have a meeting in the afternoon that we don't want to go to allow ourselves to be present enough to say, you know, I don't want to do that. And then you get to make the choice. You either get to call that person and deal with the uncomfortableness of maybe canceling, or maybe you go to that meeting and you know that at that point you weren't quite ready yet to say no. You know, one of my favorite expressions is from Cheryl Richardson, who said, to be truly authentic to yourself, you have to be willing to say no to someone. You have to be willing to disappoint someone every day. You have to be willing to disappoint someone every day. But how can you be present to what it is that you are wanting and needing and desiring in your life if you're not being aware of what works and what doesn't work in your life? So I have a friend who wrote a song that said, if you're not, what is the line again? If you're not in awe, you're not paying attention. Isn't that a great line? If you're not in awe, you're not paying attention. I love that line. So here's a story for you. So this is when I was paying attention. So one of the things that I do that's pretty wacky, for those of you who don't know this about me, I have been a swimmer all my life, a competitive swimmer. I was training for the Olympics. And when I moved to San Francisco, I wound up many, many years ago joining this wonderful place called the Dolphin Club in San Francisco. If you've ever been to San Francisco, it's an aquatic park next to Ghirardelli Square. It's this great swim club, and I've been, you know, one of the main members there for years and years and years. And in all of the races that we would do, like to Alcatraz or the Golden Gate Bridge or any of these swims around the bay, I'd always be in the top 5, and I would, you know, get out there and I would swim really hard. Well, there was this guy named George, and George was like my guy. He would come up to me before every race and go, Drucker, I see you. And we would battle it out. I mean, we're in the middle of the bay, and we're battling it out. We're just swimming side by side, and it was always like, you know, he'd always say to me, I'm going to beat you on this one, and I'd say, no, I'm going to beat you on this one. And we had this thing for years. So now we're doing we're swimming the Golden Gate Bridge. If any of you ever been to San Francisco, the Golden Gate Bridge is pretty awe-inspiring. But the gun goes off, and we jump into the water, and George and I are going, and we're swimming stroke for stroke for stroke. And all of a sudden, I turn, and he's right on my right side. So every stroke, I'm seeing him like this. And then I take a few strokes, and I'm not breathing, and I look, and the next time I look, he's not there. And I'm looking around, and he's not there. And I look, and he's over here, and he's doing water ballet. All of a sudden, here's George doing this in the water. And I swim over to him, and I go, George, like, what are you doing? We're in a race here. What do you, and I can see some of the other swimmers coming by him, like, oh, goody, I get to beat George and Karen. And I'm going, George, what are you doing? And he says to me, Karen, when are we ever going to have this experience again of being underneath the Golden Gate Bridge? Why would I want to put my head down, swim as fast as I can just to get to the other side? And I went, you're right. Why would I want to put my head down and not even look around at this wonder, being underneath the Golden Gate Bridge, seeing the fog in the distance, the seagulls, the everything? And I joined him. And the two of us started doing water ballet and putting our legs up and doing kicks. And we're just swimming around and having a grand old time. And all these people who we've always beaten are stopping and going, what are you guys doing? Are you insane? And I'll tell you something. I have never had so much fun. And I've never swum a race like that again. I've never put my head down and just tried to get to the other side. What I do now when I go into any race in the bay is I swim a little bit and then I stop and I look around and I take it in, and truly I have that amazingly awesome experience of being alive and being present. So I used to travel all the time. Before COVID, I was on the road all the time. I mean, I loved it, but what was really difficult was the travel part. The travel part was really a interesting thing, because I remember there was one time in particular I was rushing to get to the airport. I was late. I'm in Huntsville, Alabama. I remember this one. And I'm rushing, and I'm in a bad mood because I'm like, why is this happening? But I get to the airport on time, only to find out that my flight is delayed 3 hours. So let's just say my spirituality kind of went out the window, and I'm in a bad mood, and I'm cursing everything. And I was in such a bad mood that I said, okay, God, I've got to pray here. And I went to the gate. Now I've got a 3-hour delay. What am I going to do? I'm tired. I just want to go home. And I remember praying and saying exactly again what the words to that song are. Please give me a shift. And I want to just say that for a second. When I say a shift, it can be the smallest thing. You know, when we're looking for miracles, I'm not talking today about, you know, that the angels sing and that it's just this, you know, the fireworks go off. I'm talking about a shift in consciousness can be so small that you just feel a change in your body. It's almost like, well, let me put it this way. Let me give you another example before I tell you this story. So I'm going to put that story on hold for 1 sec, because I got to tell you this one. This is what a slightest shift can look like. That another thing that I did was I was part of a relay team that swam the English Channel. We're the first American women to swim the English Channel, and I was the second swimmer in. And each swimmer swims for an hour. You're next to a boat. But I was in the main shipping lane of the English Channel, and you literally had to, this is great, you literally had to sign a waiver saying, yes, if a tanker ship takes my head off, I understand. It was my fault that I was in the way. Here's that piece of paper. So in other words, you have to be aware of the tanker ships coming by. They're not going to stop for you. But the reason why I love to tell this story is that a tanker ship needs to know a mile out that it wants to make a 1-degree shift. So when you think about shifts, it's like it could be something that is so minute in your life that you want to change, that you want to be open to the possibility of something new in your life. That it could be 6 months away. It could be 2 weeks away. But in other words, in your consciousness, you make that shift first, and then you start to slowly move in that direction. I don't know about you, but, you know, I'm impatient. I want it now. I want to have that shift. I want to see it, blah, 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 blah. Sometimes it happens like that, but a lot of times it doesn't. A lot of times it's just like you have that shift in consciousness, and then you start to move in that direction. And so, I would have to see a tanker ship way out there to realize that I have to probably tread water for a while until it goes by. But so here's the shift that happened to me in this story. So I'm at the Huntsville airport. I've got a 3-hour delay. I'm pissy. I'm just pissy. But I say, God, help me. I'm tired. I'm frustrated. I need to have a miracle here so that I can make it home and feel okay. And so I did this prayer, and I could feel that shift. And that's why we pray. That's why we come to church, because we get these shifts in this way by doing those practices. But I did this prayer, and I felt the shift inside. I was like, okay, I can do something else. But here was this miracle situation where all of a sudden I opened my eyes, and again, it was like there was like this sun, this light that came upon this. I looked over, and in the corner of the Huntsville, Alabama, little small airport was a white grand piano. Why was there a white grand piano in the Huntsville airport by gate 32? I have no idea. But it was like a light was shining. I didn't even see it when I sat down. But here's this white grand piano. And so I went, oh, okay, I guess it's up to me to do this, to go over there and check this out. And I went over, and it was open. I thought maybe it would be locked. And here it was open, and I started playing, and I started writing songs. And then I started to see the security guard come over and go, okay, I'm busted. That was a nice little time. But the security guard comes over, and he says, wow, you play really great. Would you teach me some things? He said, I've always wanted to be a musician, and my dream in life is, here's my cat yelling at me again. Okay, it's okay. And then my dream in life is to write a song. And so for the next hour, I gave him a lesson, and we wrote a song. And I'll tell you something, when I had that shift in consciousness, this was a miracle. I had so much fun. We bonded. We wrote this song together. He was thrilled. And that was my miracle. That was my amazingly awesome experience by just having that shift. And that's what it is sometimes, is just to really look at what we can do differently. What we can do differently. So, and by the way, my plane came in early too. That was the miracle too. So I was going to sing another song, but I'm looking at my time here with the meditation. So I want to do this instead. I want to do this meditation with you if I could. I want you to think about what you might be open to in your life. What possibilities you could be open to. What miracles, what amazingly awesome things could happen in your life. So I want you to sing this with me. Let me teach it to you. I am open to the possibilities. I am open to the possibilities of a life that is meant to be lived by me. Can you sing that with me? I am open to the possibilities, to the possibilities. I am open to the possibilities of a life that is meant to be lived by me. So take a deep breath. So are there things that you've been waiting for in your life? So just picture your life right now. Picture some of the things that have been going on for you. And this is an affirmation of saying, don't wait. Don't wait to dream, to visualize, to look at what is happening, what could happen in your life. So I invite you to put your hand over your heart, put both hands over your heart. And I invite you to open like this. as we sing, I am open. So put your hands over your heart and say, to the possibility. I am open to the possibilities of a life that is meant to be lived by me. Do it again. I am open to the possibilities. What possibilities? I am open to something amazingly awesome happening, to the possibilities of a life that is meant to be lived by me. Let me sing the verse to you, because this is also important. And I don't have all the answers right now, but I'm willing to take it slow. And I believe that something is calling me. Where this path will lead right now, I don't know. But I am open to the possibilities, to the possibilities. I am open to the possibilities of a life that is meant to be lived by me. All right, so I have homework for you this week. So one of the things that Pam has talked about in her books around this idea of something amazingly awesome is going to happen is look for 3 things. I'm going to say today. It could be this week, but I'm going to say today. Look for 3 things today. Just be open to the possibility of 3 things that you might not have even noticed. And when you go to bed tonight, think about those 3 things. You know, my friend Rachel Remen, another wonderful writer, has a wonderful exercise that when you go to bed at night, you say, what surprised me today? What inspired me today? And then I'm going to add this, and what was amazingly awesome? What amazingly awesome thing happened to me today? When you take that time to look for it, it'll show up. You might not have even seen it before, but it might be right before my eyes, that miracle that you're looking for. So one more time, just say, I am open to the possibilities of something amazingly awesome happening to me today. Thank you all for listening. Go out and be amazing.
And now, of course, it's a time of thanks and offering. As our ushers come forward for our time of thanks, I invite you to join me as we hold our gifts to this community in our hands and love in our hearts. Let's affirm together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. As the love offering is collected, let's join Holly in singing Gratitude.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, Gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. And I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful.
As our ushers come forward, here's our prayer of thanks. Please listen. We are grateful and bless the flow of good that supports our Unity community. We bless the givers who give their time, talent, and treasure. We stand in knowing that the flow of good goes forth only to return again and again, and so it is. Amen. And now for opportunities. A special welcome to our guests today. Thank you for joining us. If you would like more information about the Unity Movement and Unity of Lawrence, pick up a welcome packet in the lobby. If you'd like to use a credit or debit card today, please see Kathy in the office. Our weekly meditation group meets on Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. in the sanctuary. All are welcome. Please remember your mask. And now please welcome Phil Roger for a special announcement.
Well, I have an opportunity for you to experience something very awesome today. We being the board of Unity are getting organized, and I have somehow become chairman of the activity committee. So what I want to offer today is the opportunity for you to participate and give us input in what you would like to see happen here in the way of activities. And I'm hoping we have some forms out in the foyer. One is a sign-up sheet for all the various committees. We have a finance committee. I'm not going to list them all. I'm not sure I could. But anyhow, there's a lot of opportunities for the people that are not on the board to be active in what's going on here. We want to create some energy, to create some activity, to make the experience here more than just coming on a Sunday and going back into our week. We want to have some things that are fun, that are interesting, informative, that are spiritual in nature, but also artistic in nature, just whatever. So what we're looking for are people that have some ideas, number one. Number two, you have the opportunity to tell us what you'd like to see happen. If you have some ideas for some sort of an activity, we have a chance for you to submit those to us. And then, so that's one step in the process of sort of getting some ideas of what we can do. And then we need to form a actual activity committee. So I'm looking for people that would like to really be involved at looking at all of these suggestions and bringing suggestions of their own. And we can start moving toward actually creating a calendar of activities for at least several months and ultimately for the whole year. So you have this awesome opportunity to participate in that. If you have a skill or some special knowledge or something you'd like to share or offer a workshop or something, submit that as a possibility. So don't be attached to your activity suggestion being actualized. Hopefully it can happen, but I can't promise anything. We're at the brainstorming stage, just being very open and creative with the process, and we'll see where it goes. So there's one sheet, I hope, in the foyer to sign up for any committee. and you'll have your contact information. And then there's another sheet for the planning committee specifically. That's kind of a questionnaire that you can take home and think about and jot down some things, and or you can submit it by email or whatever, or bring it back next week and leave it here. I hope to have a Zoom meeting with anyone that's interested before, I think it's the 13th, our next board meeting. When? Yeah, anyhow, so we need to do that rather quickly so that we have some things to look at the board meeting. So that does not necessarily commit you to being on the committee. After we get started and see who's interested, and then we'll find out who would really like to serve on that committee. So offering a suggestion, offering to contribute to an activity does not necessarily commit you to being on a committee of any kind. We just need that information, that input, okay? So I really appreciate it, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Phil. From the family of Gary Frager, former music director at Unity of Lawrence. Oh, from the family. Gary Frager, former music director at Unity of Lawrence, died on December 2nd, 2021. His 15 years of service to our church were very special to him. Susan and his family would like to invite his friends at Unity to a day of honoring his life. The memorial service is on Wednesday, March 16th, 2 p.m. at Kawanka Township Hall. 776 US Highway 40, 3 miles west of 6th and Wakarusa, with the music celebration that evening from 6 to 10 p.m. at Johnny's West, 721 Wakarusa, southwest corner of 6th and Wakarusa. Information sheet is available in the lobby. Please join us next week as our own Jay Pryor brings us the message, Self-Compassion as a Spiritual Practice, special music with John Keck. Do we have youth to sing in? Yes, it looks like it. Now it's time to sing in our youth.
One more addition to the announcements. Today's lunch bunch is at Perkins on 23rd Street. Yeah. It's okay. You are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. You are walking in the light of God. In the light, 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 in the light of God.
Good morning. So today we talked about music and how important music is and how it is a gift from God, and it's so important that God made it and then gave it to us to do. And so the reason why Aiden is doing jumping jacks is because I told them to do jumping jacks and count how many they did in 60 seconds with no music. And they only made it 20 seconds and they were collapsed on the floor. But as soon as I gave them some music, Aiden was able to go for 40 seconds without even counting the time, and he did more jumping jacks than he did before. So we talked about how critical music is because it motivates us. And so their affirmation today, what is our affirmation today? What are we saying today?
I am the music of God.
So I am the music of God. The music is inside of them. And so that is what they have been gifted. And so we practice just different ways for music. So we talked about, we can pretend we're playing a trumpet with our lips. They can clap their hands, snap their fingers, stomp their feet. And all of that is music they've been gifted from God to share with the world to make their experiences so much better than when they did jumping jacks with no music. So there we go.
Let us bless our youth. Congregation, rub your hands together and say with me, we love you, we trust you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divinity in you. Yay! Woo! Because our vision is celebrating a peaceful and abundant world for all, let's all join in singing the peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God our Creator, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be our